SOLDAT is a fascinating true story that offers a unique look at the German side of World War II and a world in ruins. Based on the best-selling book Soldat, Reflections of a German Soldier, Siegfried Knappe, who rose through the ranks of the General Staff College to become a highly respected major in the Wehrmacht, gives us a reflective and illuminating perspective on his experiences as a German soldier who served on every major front in the European theater of war. This unique and timely film chronicles the life of an ordinary man who found himself caught in the middle of extraordinary world events, and how he survived to start a new life in America. But most importantly, Siegfried Knappe, a longtime resident of Xenia, Ohio, is probably the last man alive today who has met Adolf Hitler face to face. In fact, he met the German dictator 3 times in 6-year intervals. The first time was in 1933 when Knappe was an apolitical teenage shutterbug, intent only on photographing Germany's new chancellor pulling up outside a hotel in Knappe's hometown of Leipzig. The young Knappe ignored Hitler's chauffeur, hopped onto the running board of the open limousine, and snapped off 3 frames. Over 60 years later, Knappe still has the pictures. The second time Knappe came face to face with Hitler was in early 1939. Knappe was by then a junior artillery officer at Kriegsschule Potsdam, a military academy where he trained under legendary Field Marshal Erwin Rommel. Knappe was being congratulated for his war college performance by the Fuhrer at a formal Reich Chancellery reception in Berlin. Recognition for his exemplary achievements at Potsdam would promote Knappe's advancements up the ranks throughout his military career. The third time he met with Hitler was almost 6 years later and in the same building. It was April 1945. As a top aide to General Helmut Weidling, the commander of Berlin's final defenses, Major Knappe waited outside the briefing room in the Fuhrer bunker. The Red Army was only 500 meters away, clawing its way toward the bunker and the final destruction of the Third Reich. Outside, Berlin was a world of smoke, fire, death, and horror, recalled Knappe. Inside, protocol dictated that Major Knappe be presented by his commander to Hitler and Minister of Propaganda Joseph Goebbels. I saluted, and Hitler walked toward me. As he neared, I was shocked by his appearance. He looked very old, at least 20 years older than his 56 years, remembers Knappe. The major was shaken. Like so many in Germany, he had given his youth to a leader who stood for the nation. Now Knappe could see that Hitler physically resembled his country. Withered, defeated, cursed. Major Knappe decided to shoot Hitler the next morning. On that last day in the bunker, he stood near Hitler, coolly calculating pistol range, only to change his mind. Let Hitler martyr himself, Knappe decided. After Knappe surrendered to the Russians, he realized that the Fuhrer had inadvertently saved his life. Major Knappe had become an eyewitness who would live to tell his incredible story. All history, granted a wide enough perspective, is merely irony. The ironies of Siegfried Knappe's life are beyond number. He survived 5 years of combat, including 4 serious wounds, 3 tours on the dreaded Eastern Front, and the final Allied assault on Berlin. He helped negotiate the final surrender of German forces to the Russians. As a prisoner of war, Knappe spent 5 frightful years in various Soviet prison camps. And finally, upon his release from captivity in 1949, Siegfried Knappe found a way to smuggle his family, along with war diaries and photo albums, out of East Germany and into West Germany. What makes this story so interesting is that we see the war through the eyes of a true-to-life German soldier. Unlike many of the Nazi caricatures we've seen in the movies, Knappe is a decent man, a loyal husband and father, and a good and dutiful soldier. Soldat is a film that gives the viewer a rare opportunity to understand how Hitler motivated a whole generation to carry out his plans for world conquest. And we learn at what cost. as we watch Canopus struggle to keep his bearings in life as Germany falls into rubble and his whole world collapses. And after years in Soviet captivity, Siegfried Canopus's amazing story continues as he reunites with his family and builds a new life in America.